Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Tuesday Training. I hope you're having a fantastic week. As always,
we are live from Austin, Texas, right here in Insurance Syndicate headquarters, and man, we have a great show for you.
good morning. What is happening, man? It's Tuesday. Time to get down for a little Tuesday Training. As always, we got a wee bit of news, and then, pardon me, being that it's AEP time, and a lot of people are out there selling Medicare Advantage plans, because it's that time of year. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Hospital Indemnity today. I know we've talked about it on the show before, but we're going to go through it some more, because the truth is not enough of you guys that are out there selling Medicare Advantage plans are bothering with Hospital Indemnity, and it just makes no sense. So we're going to go through we're going to go through a Hospital Indemnity product, number one, a little bit. We're going to explain some of the selling tips, strategies, some of the language, right? So that you have pretty much the skills to go out there and do it. And what I generally would recommend is just try it. It's amazing that people will actually buy a product from you if you just talk about it. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be the greatest salesperson out there. Just talk about it. Pretty simple. And if you mention it to everybody that you sell a non-DSNP Medicare Advantage plan to, somebody's going to buy it, even if you're terrible at sales, right? I mean, activity will always generate sales just through the activity itself. And then if you do that repetitively, and as my buddy John Wetmore says, do more, get better later, right? Just do more activity. You'll get better at the sales as you're putting in the repetitions. So we're going to talk about a lot of that and help you guys get rolling with it. As always, the show is brought to you by DFY, which is my CRM of choice. We have been having some fun building out some new snapshots and some new automations within DFY, at least personally here at GoOvula, and super excited to get that going. Hopefully we'll have our whole project done by the end of AEP so that we can roll into 2026 with it. But as always, I got a little bit of news that I want to share with you guys. And if you've been following this show for a while, you probably know what I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about some fraud, because here's another one. My friend Maida Luna alerted me of this story. I was unaware, but this is actually Medicaid fraud, not Medicare fraud, still fraud. But a local activist here, and this is from the Charlotte WCCB TV news organization, whatever. But it says a local activist is accused of organizing a multi-million-dollar Medicaid fraud scheme. Pretty simple. Local activist is accused of organizing a $9 million healthcare fraud scheme. Federal authorities raided his properties. Gentleman named Cedric Dean of Mecklenburg and Cleveland counties over in North Carolina. He's known as a local re-entry activist who served time in prison on drugs and robbery. And the feds say that Cedric Dean used his company, Cedric Dean Holdings, to fraudulently steal nearly $9 million in funds from Medicaid that he used to buy vehicles and houses and certainly pay himself a salary, which it says in here as well. Allegedly, he had 100 people living in his properties in December of 2024 that the neighbors said they noticed a lot of activity, moving trucks coming and going. He is accused, here's where the crux of it gets to, he is accused of offering homeless people food and housing at one of his properties if they would give him their Medicaid ID number. Court documents say he billed Medicaid for services that clients never received and paid a doctor to diagnose homeless people with basically anything. Pretty simple. Court documents say Dean billed Medicaid for a total of $14 million, used the Medicaid money to buy cars, jewelry, properties. The feds say that they compared Dean's Medicaid billing to other providers, and his amounts were 894% higher than the provider that submitted the second highest claims amount. Wow. The investigation also revealed the dean's company submitted more than 50 claims for supported living services for a client after their death, totaling another 11,000 billed. So they also say he paid himself $360,000 in the first 6 months, and he has no substantial income outside of this alleged scheme. So that just dropped. Like, this just happened. This article was written October 16th. So fairly recent one. Next up, you may have heard about this one, right? Kaiser Permanente. This came out starting in 2013, were some of the initial whistleblower announcements. The case really opened up in 2021, and they're apparently nearing a resolution. I'm not going to go through this whole article for you because it's more of an update, but basically the idea is that Kaiser Permanente is guilty of upcoding diagnoses in order to receive more money. We've heard of this from multiple other carriers, right? There's several that have been sued over it. I think this is definitely one of the largest, if not the largest, upcoding lawsuit that's out there at right at $1 billion. I'll put this on. Well, I would put this article in the group, but unless you have a paid membership to Stat News, it's behind a paywall, so it won't do you any good. But basically, the article just kind of goes to update, talks a little bit about the whistleblowers that dropped the claim. It was one of the coders, and the first whistleblower started way back in 2013, right? And said that even they were ignoring numerous warning signs about illegal practices, and started even back in 2011. But they generated about 116 billion in revenue. They run about 40 hospitals, cover 12.6 million members. So basically, they are at a negotiation on settlement. Like, how much of it they're going to pay back is pretty much where they're at, working through that. But we'll find out pretty soon how much they're going to pay to cover their butt after what they've done. So there you go. That is all the news we got for today. So I want to jump just straight into some hospital indemnity stuff with you guys. Number one, why should we sell? I mean, if we're selling Medicare Advantage plans, and let's be really clear, you should generally only be selling hospital indemnity to people that are enrolled in Medicare Advantage plans, or possibly people that just have original Medicare A and B. But even then, I would generally move towards a supplement, because for any hospital indemnity plan that is worth someone's time to pick up, if they're just running around with A and B, you can pretty much get a plan in most state dependent, obviously, right, for a few dollars more. So some of that might depend on the state that you're in. Obviously, if you're in Florida, for example, Medicare supplement rates are a lot higher. So maybe selling a hospital indemnity to someone that just has A and B might make sense. But even then, like, the Medicare Advantage plans in Florida are generally so much better than they are in other parts of the country. That's going to be a more logical choice. So in most cases, you should only be selling hospital indemnity to someone who has a Medicare Advantage plan, and certainly not people on D-SNP plans. Just pretty plain and simple, because they're already getting everything covered at zero. If you're not familiar with what a hospital indemnity plan is, it's pretty basic. A hospital indemnity plan pays cash benefits for time spent in the hospital, whether that's inpatient hospital care, inpatient skilled nursing, or inpatient mental health care, right? All of that kind of falls under a hospital indemnity plan. Depending on the plan, there are numerous plans out there. I'm going to show you one today that we talk about, the one that we use most, but there are numerous to pick from. Find one or two that fit your need and write them up. The one that I prefer, that we're going to talk about a little bit, there's a few reasons I prefer it: simplicity, rates, and I got options between simplified issue and guarantee issue, but we'll dive into that. But just find you a product that's worth, and chances are, if you're an agent out there in Medicare and you're contracted with a bunch of items, you probably already have access to a hospital indemnity product and may not even know it, right? Aetna Supplemental is a product that a lot of agents have picked up for their Medicare supplement, their DVH plan, etc. They have a pretty solid hospital indemnity product. And I'm not sure if this is applicable to all states, but Aetna's product has the largest, I believe, the largest guarantee issue window of most of the carriers. They'll actually give you, I believe, 2 years of straight guarantee issue based off their 65th birth date. So from age 65 to 67, No health questions. You can get them in a simple HI product. But pick one, start with it, and just start talking about it every time that you write a Medicare Advantage plan, right? And if you're not comfortable doing it at time of sale, like when you enroll them in that MA plan, do it on a retention call, 100%. There's a lot of agents out there like, what do I do after AEP? Like I go out and I write 100 apps during AEP, then what do I do? Well, use OEP to market Hospital Indemnity and cross market. Like that's a great way to, number one, reach your current client base, create another touch point, make sure they like their Medicare Advantage plan that you enrolled them in, and then you can point out how you can help improve that situation even more with a simple Hospital Indemnity product, right? Couple of the rules of the game are pretty simple. You are 100% allowed to sell or pitch Hospital Indemnity products at the same time that you are presenting a Medicare Advantage plan, so long as they've initialed that on the scope of appointment form, right? Whether you're getting that scope of appointment electronically or on paper, there is a blank there. If they initial next to Hospital Indemnity, or if they check that box off when they sign it, then you can 100% present it at time of sale. Now, if for any reason they didn't check that box on the scope of appointment form, then don't present it at time of sale. Don't break the rules. But because now they are in your book of business, you have every right to call them, and you never need a scope of appointment to sell Hospital Indemnity on a secondary appointment. You can cold call to sell Hospital Indemnity. So just to give an example, there's a lot of agents out there, you can't cold call seniors. That's not true unless you're in Ohio. If you're in Ohio, you can't cold call anybody over 65 for any product whatsoever. But in all 49 other states, you can 100% cold call seniors. The rule is that you can't cold call them with the intent to sell a Medicare Advantage plan on that same call, right? So I could, if I was an aggressive agent or marketer or salesperson, I could cold call people, find out they have a Medicare Advantage plan, and pitch them a Hospital Indemnity product. Fairly simple. That is absolutely on the block for compliant. Like you can do that 100%. And I would highly encourage you. Like one of the things that I teach agents when they're newer is like, especially as they're kind of going through their contracting and onboarding process, is, hey, let's get you doing some cold calls to get some of the marbles out of your mouth. I'll give them a cold call script for Medicare supplements, right? They're trying to sell Medicare supplements. And if they find out that person that they're talking to already has a Medicare Advantage plan, then it's a simple pivot and start talking about Hospital Indemnity. Oh, great. You have a Medicare Advantage plan? Excellent. What plan do you have? Oh, Humana. I have a lot of clients with Humana. Great plan. You probably remember when your agent showed it to you, it has a bunch of co-insurance and co-payments and out-of-pocket expenses. I'm sure he went over that with you, right? Perfect. Well, I'd like to show you a quick way on how you can bring those costs down to zero. And then you quote them a simple Hospital Indemnity product. It does not have to be rocket science. The one thing it requires, and this is really important, it requires you to talk about it. And I know I've already said that a couple times. I just want to reinforce it. If you talk about it, people will buy it. Simple. You do not have to be the greatest salesperson. All you got to do is bring it up. And it's funny because a couple of years ago, I remember speaking to an agent who had sold their first Hospital Indemnity product to someone. They had already written a couple of hundred Medicare Advantage plans, but had never sold a Hospital Indemnity. And then they finally sold their first one. And their statement when they came back to me was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I sold my first Hospital Indemnity product and all I had to do was bring it up. Yeah, that's pretty much all it is. Just bring it up to the right people, right? And you should have no problem writing some good business on it. So, and then a few reasons why you should sell Hospital Indemnity. Number one, it's your job as an insurance agent to mitigate as much risk for your client that they need and can afford. Pretty simple, right? If you talk to a really reputable car insurance agent, for example, they're not going to let you slide on some of those extra benefits, bodily injury, property injury, all of that stuff. They're going to make sure that you have the best coverage possible so that when you drive your car through someone's house accidentally, everything is taken care of, right? Or if you accidentally run over someone, whatever it might be, they're going to make sure you're covered. That's a good car insurance agent. We should be the same way when we're talking with people about healthcare, because there are so many different angles, if you will, that can happen within healthcare that create expenses, right? Just having a Medicare Advantage plan doesn't sew it all up. We all know if you're selling Medicare Advantage plan, it has copayments. It has hospital copayments. It's got skilled nursing copayments after 20 days. It has co-insurance under Part B for various things. A hospital indemnity plan will help you tighten those things up, right? So again, find one that you like, that you feel like is good for you, and just start talking about it. People will buy it. So again, number one, our job is to mitigate as much risk for our client, to give them the best healthcare experience and take care of them at the highest level that we can within their budget. Fairly simple. Number two reason why you should be selling hospital indemnity, more commissions. You just earn more. Like, wouldn't you rather earn, let's see, Medicare Advantage plans are going up to what, $694 for new to Medicare next year? Wouldn't you prefer to earn an extra couple $100 on top of that? Wouldn't you rather, instead of making $694, make $894 every time you sell a Medicare Advantage plan? Would that help you pay the bills more? It's not like shit's getting cheaper around here anyway. So that would help stuff your pockets, number one. Number two, it creates a higher level of retention for your clients. There's a white paper here. I'm not going to go through it, but I'll just pop it up on screen real quick that explains a lot about hospital indemnity. Let me grab it here. Is that on screen now? Yeah. So this is a white paper that was put together by my friends over at AmeriLife, or at Your FMO as they use as well. But it says right here, and I've done some studying on this, and this is probably the most accurate percentage or metric that I've seen around selling hospital indemnity. There are Harvard studies on this, of when you sell more than one product to a person, how much stickier are they? How much more loyal are they to you? And the more products you write with someone, the stickier or the more loyal they become. But just by adding a second product, just by adding hospital indemnity right there, it says that you will have an 11% higher client retention from those agents that don't bother pitching that second product or pitching hospital indemnity and getting some of their folks to buy it. So not only do you make more money first year, but you're going to make more money second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, sixth year on, depending on how long you're in this business, because you're going to create stickier clients that are going to stick around with you and help you keep your renewals on the books. That's the whole purpose that we're in this business in the first place. Nobody got into insurance, at least I hope not, thinking that, oh, I'm just going to go sell a policy and I'm going to make a ton of money and that's all I got to do. No, we're all in this business because there's a renewal trail that creates a compounding income. And that's where the lucrativeness of insurance comes through, right? So by adding in a hospital indemnity, you increase your retention rate by 11%. Means you have more clients second year, more clients third year, and more clients that have been with you for a long time. That creates more income for you, right? I would also tell you that those clients that are that loyal, that are more sticky, they are also going to be more likely to refer you business because you've done such a great job for them and they trust you so much. But the fact is, like, if a client has more than one product with you, especially if you get beyond two, if you get into like 3, 4, and 5 policies that you have with the client, dude, they're not going anywhere. They're not going to let any agent get in their house or get them on the phone and disrupt the package that you've created for them. And we're going to be talking about bundling on one of the upcoming episodes. I've already talked about it before, but I want to go over it again with you guys because it's that time of year. It's one of those things that we should be talking about. So we will get into bundling next week a little deeper. Today, we're just going to talk about some hospital indemnity stuff and make sure you guys understand it. And I'm going to show you one product and some of the reasons why I like that product. So again, just go back to the reasons real quick. Number one, our job is to mitigate more risk for our clients, to do a good job for them. When we do it properly, we make more money first year, right? Number three, we create stickier clients, which helps us make more money in the secondary and the renewal years. Fairly simple, right? So diving right in, perfect. So a product that I prefer, let me put this on screen for you guys real quick, is with United National Life. I'm just going to show you their back office system. I'm going to show you their quote, their Protect the Gaps tool, and a couple of things. A lot of carriers have the same stuff, right? You get some of the stuff with Guaranteed Trust Life, another great hospital indemnity product. There are some quote engines out there that include some of the same types of tools. Some of the reasons I like this product specifically is from my research. They have the best rates for hospital indemnity, period, assuming that they can get through underwriting, right? If they can't get through underwriting, they do have a guarantee issue option. It is not my favorite guarantee issue option just because the rates are a little higher and the benefits are limited. We'll look at that here in a second. I have other products that if I can't get them underwritten on United National Life, if they're within that 2-year age band from 65 to 67, I'm immediately just going to flip to Aetna and write them that one. The rates are still good, right? They're not quite as competitive as UNL by any means, but if I'm running into underwriting problems here, I'm just going to pivot straight to Aetna and write their guarantee issue product, or not their guarantee issue product, but write it during their guarantee issue window. Pretty simple. But you pick you. And I would encourage you as an agent not to shy away from products that have underwriting in them. I've talked to a lot of agents about this product and others, and they're like, oh, well, no, I only want to work with the guarantee issue product. Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. That just makes you a lazy agent, in my opinion. If you're afraid to ask someone a few health questions to verify their level of insurability, if that helps you get them a better rate, doesn't that make you a higher performing agent versus the agent that just wants to take the lazy way out and be like, nah, I'm only going to write something if I can get him guarantee issue, period. Okay, fine. I got no major problem. Like if you want to write Aetna, for example, and I'm not bashing Aetna, it's a great product. They have that 2-year window where you can write people guarantee issue. But if they're healthy enough to get through this one and I can get them better rates and more coverage, wouldn't that be the smarter choice based on my responsibility as an agent? Or is my responsibility as an agent to always just pick the path of least resistance? You do with that one what you want. But pretty simple. This is their front end dashboard. They have a real easy quote and submit platform. We're going to run through that. If you have saved apps, you can review them, resume them. This Protect the Gaps tool is outstanding. It will look up every Medicare Advantage plan in every county, period, and it will match the hospital indemnity product with it immediately. I know that tool exists in some other areas, but they have it here as well. The UNL link is just where you get supplies, check your business. They have a podcast, and then they have various agent training videos and webinar stuff, etc. And then if you sell their dental product, you can even get a little client link. But we're going to jump in. Let me just show you this Protect the Gaps thing real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Like I said, pretty simple, right? Just pick your year. Obviously, right now we're in between 2025 and 2026. So you want to make sure that you're pulling the right Medicare Advantage plans, depending on what you're selling. If you're selling a 2025 effective date, obviously you want to look at those. If you're selling a 2026 effective date, obviously you want to look at those. So you pick your year, pick your state, and you pick the county that you're selling, that you're specifically serving in that moment for that client. So I'm in Travis County, so we're just going to pull that, Travis County, Texas, which is Austin here, right? And you'll see now it's thinking and it's retrieving all the plans. So it's pulling up every single plan that is available in Travis County for year 2026. Second, it's going to ask me to select which carrier I am writing for that client. So let's just say we're writing United Healthcare as an example. And now it's going to give me every single plan. This is every plan that United Healthcare has. A couple of things that are minimal, but I don't really care for. It includes the DSNPs in here, and it includes the PDPs. I wish there was a way they could pull those out just to shrink the list a little more so it's not clogged. That I don't know exactly why that is. I assume they get some kind of API interface from UHC, and it just dumps everything in there. But we're going to pick an arbitrary. I'm going to pick one that's pretty popular. This is a pretty popular plan here in the Austin area. And then immediately it pulls it up. Snap. Says, hey, here's your MA plan details over here. Inpatient hospital is $325 a day for 6 days. Ambulance is $275. Occupational therapy, $35. Physical therapy, $35. And skilled nursing copays are as well, right? Zero copay on on 1 through 20, but $218 copay on days 21 through 100. And then immediately it snaps over here and gives you the hospital indemnity product, lays it out. Boom. Daily confinement, $330 for 6 days. Outpatient benefit package, that's $50 to help cover the occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech language therapy stuff. And outpatient surgical rider, $250, right? So if they have any kind of outpatient surgery, that's not listed in the details, but I bet if we look closer at that Medicare Advantage plan, that's probably pretty close to their outpatient surgery copayment. Ambulance riders at $300. Emergency room rider, $150, and outpatient advanced diagnostic exam rider, $150, right? Gives it to you right there. If you want, you can pull up the brochure and you can immediately apply for your applicant. Pretty much that easy. Alternatively, you can just come back. Whoops, log back in here. Their quote and submit feature is not that hard either. Bear with me to punch a few items in here, and I'll show you this one real fast. Get some basic info in there. It's going to ask you to select products because this gives you, the quote and submit gives you all their products. So we're going to pick the Hospital Indemnity Shield, which is the product that we're using here. And then same thing, it's just going to let you build the thing out. Pretty simple. And it's not, I mean, all of these questions are on the application already. But here, now we can customize it ourselves. Instead of using Protect the Gaps tool, right, which is a little more automated, this gives me a chance to go through and pick the benefits that I want, right? Because maybe I don't want all the things that Protect the Gaps tool kind of plugs in. Not that you can't adjust them later, right? But you can pick anything from 3 days to 10 days, whatever it might be. You pick your benefit amount. If you guys have done anything like this before, this is probably redundant for you. But if you're new to hospital indemnity, this might be new to you. The outpatient benefit package, you can choose to add that on if you want. I will go through in a second what that is. Matter of fact, let me just show you what that is right now. Let's just do that. That package, boom, boom, boom. Let me pull it up. Has a few items on it. So let's share this real quick. Right. So the outpatient benefit package rider gives them $100, $150 for emergency room visit, right? $50 daily for up to 5 days of chiropractic treatment due to an injury, not just chiropractic treatment. It has to be due to some injury. And 15 days for occupational, physical, or speech therapies. It also includes a $150 daily benefit for diagnostic exams. All of that is built into the outpatient benefit package rider. If you don't want any of that stuff, leave it out. Pretty simple, right? But jumping back to our little quoter here, right? I'm just arbitrarily picking some stuff, 7 days, $350 a day. And you'll notice as you're going through this, it gives you the price of each benefit as you're adding it on. And then it totals the whole price, the whole quote at the bottom, right? So my 7 days at $350, it's telling me that, hey, that's $15.34 a month if that's all I wanted. My outpatient benefit package is $10.42. If I want it, great. If I don't, great. And you'll notice as soon as I'm clicking it, it's updating the price at the bottom. Sometimes takes it a minute to refresh, but boom, right? As soon as I turn that off, it goes from $27.43 down to $17.01. And if that's all they need, write it. But here's what I would generally recommend you write. I generally don't bother with the terminal illness option. I don't. It's some extra money for someone that's terminally ill and inpatient. They can get some extra cash. The outpatient surgical rider I will usually add on because it's not too expensive, but this will cover them anywhere from $250. I think it's $250. $250 all the way up to $1,000 for outpatient surgery. What I will always add on, and I usually add this on, and a lot of the outpatient surgeries, they're going to vary, but you'll notice, only $7 to add it at $350. Look at the summary of benefits to verify how much are they charging for outpatient surgery, and then you can offset it right there. Skilled nursing, they give you two options. You can do a day 1 through day 50 option, or you can do a day 21 through 100. Now, if you already know Medicare's benefits under Part A, they give you the first 20 days of skilled nursing for free. Beyond that, you have to pay. So I'm of the opinion that this is overkill. I would be overselling the product if I did days 1 through 50, in my opinion. But there's some people that also want to profit while they're getting their free skilled nursing. Me, I'm going to build it in on days 21 through 100. And in the case of that United Healthcare plan, the copay for days 21 through 100 was $218. So I'm adding in at $220. Now, those are the primary benefits, but I will also do the ambulance rider depending on what that ambulance rider cost is, because it's super cheap. They have lump sum cancer rider. I'll get to that in just a second because I have some more explanation, but I want to go through this with you. I've currently built an arbitrary plan, 7 days, $350 a day, $350 for outpatient surgery, and skilled nursing days 21 through 200. It's only $46.71. That's it. That's super affordable. I mean, haven't you heard 50 is the new 20? $50 is nothing for most folks. So I can build that plan up. I'm not breaking the bank. I'm not overselling a product to gouge my clients. I'm selling them something that has a ton of value in it. And if they have a Medicare Advantage plan where these benefits match up, this is going to wipe them out when they experience those. Fairly simple. From there, we're going to go to apply. But before we jump there, because I want to go to apply, because I want to show you their health questions, because they do have some. They're not brutal by any means. They're similar to Medicare supplement, but not even that extensive, right? But I want to show you their lump sum cancer rider and why I would or would not use it real quick. It's one of the better riders out there. You can sell it as low as $1,000, and they have recently increased it all the way up to $30,000. If I wanted to, I could add $30,000 in cancer to this product. Lump sum benefit, first diagnosis. Diagnosed with any form of internal cancer, boom, $30,000 check. However, look at the price of their $30,000 cancer rider. It's $85.55. And my quote is based on a 65-year-old male, in case you missed that at the beginning. I would not sell that $30,000. If I have someone that wants to buy 30 grand in cancer, lump sum cancer, I'm going to ship them to Mutual Omaha. I shouldn't say ship them. I'm going to ship over to Mutual of Omaha and use that product because it's a much better rate. I'm going to get a much better rate at Mutual, and it's probably close to $50 or $60 right in there. I think it's about $55 at age 65. I might be a little off on that. And that's a much better deal, right? So I'm not going to tell you not to do it. That's a hell of a commission, but I want to do what's best for my client. My job is to mitigate as much risk for the best price and value that I can. And personally, if I'm going to sell a cancer product that's I would say 20,000 or more, I'm going to go to a defined product for lump sum cancer, like a Mutual of Omaha product or like Aetna's product. Those are my two favorites, right? However, if I just wanted to throw on like maybe a little $5,000 benefit, it's not that bad, $14. I'm just barely over my $50 mark at 60. That's pretty fair. That's pretty fair. I like that one. All right. But let's pretend we're not doing that. We're keeping it at the $46 range. Great deal. Let's go and apply. I want to show you guys how simple this process is. So it summarizes everything right there that you picked out. Hey, we got the applicant is Tony. He's 65, male, in Texas. Here's all of our benefits. Do we want to deliver documents to the agent or to the insured? Do we want them paper or digital? All of your stuff. There's my social security number. If anybody wants it real quick, I'll leave that on the screen for you. So there we go. You get that little bit of info in there, and we're ready to save and continue, and it's going to take you straight to the health questions. There are a total of about, I think, a dozen at most, not even that many, and they're pretty straightforward, right? I'm not going to go through all of these for you, but basically they're looking, hey, in the past 24 months, have you had any of these issues? Cancer, heart attack, heart failure, stroke, heart bypass surgery, defibrillator, diabetes requiring insulin, Crohn, colitis, liver, kidney disease, COPD, are you dragging an oxygen tank around? Alzheimer's, dementia, alcohol or substance abuse. And real quick on this question, have you had treatment for alcohol or substance abuse? You can be an alcoholic, that's your problem, but have you had treatment for it? Yes or no? Bipolar, schizophrenia, right? Do you need any help with your activities of daily living, dressing, eating, toileting? Are you currently confined to a hospital, nursing home, psychiatric center? Do you have HIV or AIDS? Have you been advised to have diagnostic tests for any abnormality that you have not completed? Have you had symptoms or medical attention for surgery that you haven't completed? Will the policy replace insurance? If they can answer all those questions no, you're done. Piece of cake. My mouse is giving me some fidgets here. Give me a second. I'm going to bounce through these at no, and I'll show you what the next screen looks like. And this is, it's a super easy electronic app. Like a monkey could run this application. It's not hard at all. Gives you your little standard disclaimers and acknowledgments. Yep. Type, sign. That's pretty much where we're at. It is not a hard product to write at all. Their issue times are also super fast. Usually most of our hospital indemnity policies that we write with them are generally approved same day or next day. They're very, very quick. So real quick, that's kind of the app process, right? Shows you a little bit of it. Super easy to do. Anybody can do that. I want to go through a little more of the product with you in general, just to give you an idea of everything that it has and what they're doing over there. Right, so this is their Florida brochure. I pulled this one up specifically for a couple of reasons, and they're available in numerous states. But they've got a couple of extras on the Florida product that they just released. You'll notice at the top, SBSA on this brochure. That is the Select Benefits Service Association. So I haven't looked at all of their states. My understanding is this is only on the Florida product. It's definitely not on the Texas product where we're selling most of it, but it's definitely on the Florida product. This is a membership that is included when you purchase a United National Life Hospital Indemnity product. Not a huge deal, but it's a little value add, right? And not everybody does stuff like this. So it gives you hotel and motel savings. You get vitamins and nutritional supplements as long as you're using Swanson brand. You can order those online, save about 20% on average. They have an eConnect wellness program where you can connect with master's level health coaches, and they'll provide you consultation and guidance on probably holistic health, smoking cessation, weight management, etc. You get car rental discounts, fitness club discounts, 50% discount at 1,600 locations nationwide. So if you got someone bitching that silver sneakers isn't in their plan anymore, if they're in Florida at least, because again, these little extra benefits are only on the Florida product. All the other states are standard. And then a few other items, movie tickets, theme parks, yada, yada, yada. Not a huge selling feature, just a little sizzle, right? And then if you need more reasons to sell hospital indemnity, the average hospital stay is 4.6 days and over $13,000 now. Now, that is obviously without an MA plan. That is just the average cost to stay. The MA plan obviously is going to be defined by the number of days and the copayment per day and the MOOP. But the MOOP is a great way to set it up. Hey, Betty, the maximum out of pocket you would spend in a year is $9,350, which is the current max MOOP. In the event that you were hospitalized or had some other health conditions arise and you were getting close or to that maximum out-of-pocket threshold, would that amount of money be a problem for you? Just ask them straightforward, and they'd be like, yeah, that would be a struggle. Understood. For most of my clients, that would be an issue. So what most of my clients do is they get a real low-cost hospital indemnity plan. I can show you how that works real quick and take care of you, get you all covered up. We'll bring those hospital costs down to zero. So again, I already went over the outpatient benefit package rider, what's included in that. They've got the ambulance rider, the outpatient surgery. You've seen me kind of show those. They have cancer, terminal illness rider, skilled nursing. All of that is built in there. They give you some case examples on the brochure, which is great. It's a good selling tool if you're out there doing face-to-face, right? So pretty slick. Now, secondarily, they do have a GI option. So if you can't get them underwritten and you want to use the GI product, you certainly are welcome to. I'm going to show you that brochure real quick. Straight guarantee issue, still includes the SBSA association benefits, right? All of that stuff still comes in at the little bit of sizzle. I know it's not a huge selling point, but it's there. But this one's going to be a little skinnier, right? This one's only going to give you your hospital stays, ambulance rider, outpatient surgery rider. That's it. That's it. It's a slim and trim. Slim and trim. Rates are obviously going to be a little bit higher because it is straight guarantee issue, but they give you both options. Now, I said earlier, usually when I'm stuck in a space where I can't get them issued on the simplified issue version, where they can't get through the health questions, I usually don't automatically bounce to the guarantee issue version. Some of that is state dependent because my Aetna product, I don't believe, is available in all states that I sell in. So I may or may not have that 2-year gap window because I generally sell the T65s, number one. So I may not have that option with Aetna, but usually I'm going to jump to Aetna's hospital indemnity because they have a 2-year guarantee issue window from 65 to 67. And I can get them a better rate than what I can get them here. But in certain scenarios, this product will definitely come into play for you. And again, it's just how you build it out to see how pricey it gets. Fairly simple stuff. So that is pretty much the show for the day, man. If any of you guys out there listening, thank you, Al. I see Alex Sala in the comments, been writing the crap out of UNL. Yeah, he loves that product too. So does Ollie. Like, they're the ones that turned me on to it. Killer product. And we write a shit ton of it. Pardon my language. We write a lot of it. So very, 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 very good product. If anybody's interested in it, wants to check it out, feel free to hit me up, drop it in the comments. I'll send you the details. You can check it out, see what you think. They're very quick to contract to. Most agents, I'm getting approved in about 2 days. So they're very speedy, very efficient, all around. One of the best products I've ever worked with in the senior market, to be honest with you. So if you have any interest in it, feel free to hit me up. Otherwise, get out there and sell some hospital indemnity, man. Again, all you got to do is say something. It's not hard. And I'll give you a couple more phrases. I've kind of sporadically sprinkled them, but one of my favorites is on a retention call. Like, I write a bunch of business during AEP. When I get to OEP, I'm going to go back and I'm going to call all those people back. We're going to call them back often. We call them 15 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And we're building in a new 120-day retention piece. But I'm going to call them back and be like, hey, Betty, it's Tony. I helped you with your Humana plan back during AEP. Perfect, yeah. Have you had a chance to use that plan yet? Have you had any problems when using that plan? Perfect. Most of my clients have the exact same experience you do, Betty. However, some of my clients have experienced higher costs when using their plan. You probably remember when I showed you that plan back in November, I went through all of your different out-of-pocket expenses that you're responsible for, right? Absolutely. Well, I just want to take a few minutes to show you how I can take all of those costs and bring them down to zero. Pretty simple. Like that is verbatim pretty much our script that we utilize. And we sell a lot of hospital indemnity using that script. It's not hard, right? You can take that same script and do it at point of sale as you're going through the summary of benefits. When you hit certain marks, particularly the hospital days, particularly the skilled nursing days, some of the other outpatient items, Hey, make a mental note of these costs because I'm going to come back to you real quick, or I'm going to come back after we go through this, and I'm going to show you how we can actually take those and wipe them out to zero. But just bookmark that thought for a second. And then you finish and you go through the summary of benefits, then you come back around like, so remember I showed you earlier that when you're hospitalized, you have to pay $350 a day for 7 days, and your maximum out of pocket for the year is $7,500. So I have a simple question for you. Would those expenses be difficult for you? Like you can ask them that and tee it up that way, or you can just come straight at them. So right up here, remember where I showed you that for 7 days it's $350 a day, and you have these other. So now I want to show you what most of my clients do to turn those costs into zero. And then you just show them the plan. The only key to that one is obviously you got to make sure they've checked off hospital indemnity on the scope of appointment, which hopefully they did. And if you can sell it right there at point of sale. Alternatively, the retention script works all day long. Very, very simple. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show, man. That is it. Again, if you have any questions or want to check out UNL, or if there's anything I can do, give me a holler. I'm always happy to help. Y'all have a great, great, great Tuesday. I hope you have a killer AEP, and we'll see you next week for Tuesday training. Again, next week, we're going to talk about bundling. I'm going to give you a bundle script. It's heavy on the Medigap side. It works on the MA side. I've talked about it before, but we're going to bring it back out again because it is that time of year, and you guys need to be bundling products. See you next week.